Welcome. Antenna balls. Casablanca Broadway Limited with antique glass shades. Doorbell push buttons. Yes, I have a bulb out. I can honestly say I walked into an abandoned building, found the alarm panel beeping at me, and ripped it off the wall. I don't have to tell people necessarily that I knew it was disconnected. Fireplace, neon signs waiting on repair. Mr. Blobby over here. Weather instruments. Temperature outdoors. Wind speed and direction. And other stuff. Yeah, I know the clock is wrong. Another neon sign. Doesn't work currently. These do, though. It's orange if the camera isn't picking it up. And this one over here. Blue and white. Lava lamps. First neon sign ever made. Old technology shelf. And the blacklight shelf, which will soon have more things. Moog theremin. These came out of a jukebox. Big mess of wires. More lava here. And more lava here. This is an electronic carillon made for playing church bells over loudspeakers. In case you couldn't afford a full cast bell carillon, you could have tape recordings of one play instead. Not playing at the moment, needs a new tube in its amplifier. There's a few other things in the room that have switches up here. This. These are just more lights up around the ceiling. Those are all blinky bulbs with Buck Rogers-esque spaceman rocket ships and UFOs. And then this one is the vent fan in the ceiling. And this one is this mechanical carnival chaser, which runs 8 circuits of lights, which kind of wash out the camera, but here it is anyhow. Also on this switch here, ceiling fan light. So here's the ceiling fan light. It's a bit bright. Like I said, all assorted pre-1920 glass. And last, there is this 3-foot tall Jacob's ladder, also built at the neon shop on an antique snap switch. Come on, you can do it. There you go. Needs to build up enough heat to carry the spark. And next, we're going to go inside. Pardon the shaky camera as before. Ding dong. Hinges have always been squeaky. Now let's start here. Cobb Pipe Department. This was a competitor to Missouri Meerschaum, who had the trademark on corn cob pipes. So they hired satirist Irvin S. Cobb and sold Cobb, C-O-B-B, pipes. Doorbell buttons waiting to go up, some Lego. Even adults play with Lego. Door chimes. These are dash pots, which were a sealed, trouble-free mechanism that will never need servicing inside some inexpensive tune-playing door chimes like this. And of course, they're full of oil, which ages to sludge, and they don't work anymore, and there's no replacement. More doorbells over here. Pardon the shaky camera while I switch hands. Antique snap switch here, which operates this light. Again, 3 assorted antique shades here. Quite bright. And we have some display doorbells here. This push button down here is a servant calling system. There's the test button. The other 3 are hooked up. And then we have this new tone down here, which is, excuse me, not that one, this one, the Golden 8. Kind of an ugly cover, which played 4 or 8 notes using only 3 tone bars. Let's get us some notes out. Yep, sorry, it gets a little sluggish in the winter. But next is this lovely chime up here. This is a Newtone symphonic, which cost about $1,000 in 1946 or so. Hand-tuned brass bars, and it plays 8-note front door. You have to wait for the light to come back on because that's when the sequence is finished. And then a back door 2 notes, and a side door 1 note. Can you tell there's a lot of electrical things in here? Sorry about the dirty switch plates. Bell telephone blank plate. This came off a police station and had a red light in one and a blue light in the other. That doorbell button doesn't do anything. And up here we have the door chime collection, which, closing the door, you'll be able to see spans the entire front wall and goes on around here, culminating in this illuminated chime where you can see a very dorky person pictured. And some of these chimes are connected, numbered. I wanted to show the tones possible out of door chimes that don't have a motor in them. So number 1 is here, 1 note. Number 2 is an odd 1 note there. Number 3 is a 1 note long bell, the one in the middle, lower with the yellow cover. Number 4 is a 2 note long bell, the one in the center. Number 5 is the most annoying chime in the world, the repeat-o-matic or repeat-a-tone or rhythmatic. Imagine how mad you'd be at a visitor who just lands on that. Number 6 is a small 2 note up here. Then a 2 note with resonators, this harmony here. It's a little slow on the second note. Odd 2 note is this Miami carry down here. Then the chord tone, which I believe is the Newtone dusk here. No, I have the pace setter hooked up as the chord tone. This is what's known as a half chord tone, 2 notes and then 1 note. And then back up here to the Miami carry for a full chord tone, 2 notes and 2 notes. And what's odd is these two are tuned just enough off that they celeste with each other. Now that's an artificial celeste. This is the General Electric Maestro, made by Friedland in the UK, and it has mechanical celeste. The resonators inside have revolving butterfly valves in them like a vibraphone, driven by the same motor that the sequencer is run by using a belt. Who are you? Normally I would have my fiber optic peacock going, but he needs a new light bulb. Another owl, some bulbs. Some more door chimes. These are 1 note call signal chimes. This little soft tone here from the 30s rings when the front door is opened and the striker raises up, and you can see the striker is hinged, so when you shut the door, it just passes under it. Over here you've got this lamp, what they call a sculptured Electra, and some lava. Wizard back there, nice white blue aristocrat. This wonderful mossy green ceramic French lamp. A nice waterfall lamp. This is a 90s replica. Really flashy Taiwanese glitter. And a British lava Crestworth. And down here is the collection of liquor, with more old minis all up here, and the labeled top shelf being all the real rot gut. Night Train Express, Thunderbird, MD 2020 in the back. Envy and Shade are liqueurs from the early 2000s, not made anymore, that were just garbage. Pancho Villa tequila, and of course the awful Le Tourment Vert absinthe, which was just vile, undrinkable stuff. Antique wind-up phonograph here, on top of which are some especially nice meerschaum pipes. Claw with a baby dragon, winged dragon hatching out. And an incredible abstract by the late, great Ismet Beckler. Here we have a clock that is its own pendulum. Sex appeal thermometer, which is basically a hand bubbler. Won't go all that high. It'll only go up to here if you actually get it going. Antique Christmas light bulbs. This is another neon piece I made. Leroy, the King, lava lamp, and of course the big French boiler back here, which is a giant bubbling lamp made of hand-blown glass. These are rare Starbright Lighting Series 300 Spire glitter lamps from the 1960s. Starbright Lighting was out of Chicago. And that's a fictional history I've made up and other lava lamp collectors enjoy and have run with. These are actually 1950s Old Forester liquor bottles that I've converted. More lava down here, and a bunch of little mini cocktail hibachis with lights glowing in them. Little Christmas lights there. And then the pipe collection. We'll scan this shelf before pulling back. More of Ismet Beckler's wonderful abstracts here in the center. Then glassware of all sorts, Geisler tubes, radiometers, little love meters or hand boilers down here. This glitter lamp, one side always seems to stop. Little glitter clock. Nam Quang neon rainbow from the 90s. These are just magical. More Geisler tubes and whatnot. Yeah, Geisler tubes right there, some of which I made at the neon sign shop. Really incredible one back there, a bunch of grapes with uranium glass tendrils around it. And more little bits and bobs across here. Little glass fox. Then the clock display over here. Clocks, more pipes underneath. Kirsten pipes made in Seattle, those down there. And a bunch of clocks. Fiber optic here. More door chimes. This one has a light in it, and I normally keep it out because it gets in the way of sleeping. But if I turn it on and cover has a really beautiful cameo in the center. Badges from conventions. There's art and posters all over the ceiling. All sorts of things. Pardon the noise. Even a clock up here. This would need a new battery. More things. These are all scam letters I've received claiming that I won money or something. There's a check for $1,830. Waltzing Waters poster for the Fountain fans. My parents sent away to the Seattle Times to ask for copies of this photograph. Tiki torch. I only have the cover to this chime, but I wish I had the rest. This is the New Tone Sunburst, and it plays 8-note chord Westminster with a 5th drone note. Clock with some other things. This fiber optic owl needs a new bulb. This is all cocktail glassware made in the 1960s and 70s by Avalos Hermanos out of Mexico, out of recycled glass. You'll see a bunch of Avalos glassware in the house on the rock too. Lava lamps. These are all clear colors. So there's a purple swirl with purple, midnight blue, red marble with red, brass enchantress with a faded white blue. This one's a bit overheated, but this is a globe that I found in a thrift store, an old liquor bottle in a decorator base. Silver streak pink. This is also a little overheated. Blue swirl with another blue clear. Princess with black clear, and gray marble with green clear. More fiber optics down here, surrounding the speaker cover. And then this wonderful lamp, which unfortunately doesn't work, but it's just here for decoration. I can't move it because my telephone wire comes over from the corner and runs down here to my desk. Here we have some fiber optics. Hard to see in the light, but they're very pretty in the dark. These are glass fibers, so they're very fine. If you have these, pick up any stray fibers because glass splinters are not fun. Comics and cute drawings from a friend of mine in Spain. Organ pipes on the front. And my little cross bulb up here. Miniature door chime, something I made. And a collection of buttons and some more furry art. Some posters up there. Yes, that's Usagi Yojimbo giant Usagi Yojimbo attacking Seattle. Otters. And all sorts of stuff. I was a member of the Slylock Fox fan club as a kid. They sent me that poster. My father worked at Union Pacific, and he picked up this wonderful poster for me. Let's turn on a light back here so we have a little more light. Let's see. Another poster by a friend of mine. All of the 90s colors of lava lamps and glitter lamps. This wonderful clock is called a Chronolisa. Another lava hiding in the corner on that torchère. And then over here, the wonderful Dark Star. I'm very glad I bought one of these when they were available. And another lava lamp, and a clock, and a little luminescent sheet lamp there. Radio. Another homemade door chime, just an imitation. Weather instruments on the wall, watches, More lava lamps in the desk. Desk's a bit of a mess. And that glitter lamp down there is fired by a candle. And more assorted little things up here. Let me move the incense burner, and you can better see the assortment of little interesting things to look at that have been collected up here. This is a lighter. Little fan when it gets hot by the desk. This light needs a new bulb. This does too, but this one is working, doing its thing. These are called beacons. Swiss golden beacons, although this one is an imitation. And here is the full shelf unit you saw earlier. My grandfather built these shelves. Last but not least in this room, take a look at the other cool clock, the Orbicron. And then, oh yes, the pyramid of lava goes on and on and on. Yes, that's a Jones soda bottle with an enchantress cap on it. The snot rocket doing its thing. Another fiber optic. Little flickering fireplace. And I'm waiting on another lava lamp to fill in that spot. That will be finished soon. The lantern is quite rare. The wall sconce as well. You can see it needs a little oomph. I need a brighter bulb. Or it may just be overheated. This one's overheated too. Neon flower. You saw one of those in the front room, and there's one in here. Now, we'll leave the lava pyramid and move along to the next room. Before we enter the next room, I need to pause and show off this display. Reaching for the switch. These wonderful things are called bolifiers. You can see some of them need a hand start to get going. There. And there. It's a super strong carbon filament. And the magnetic field it generates is countered by a bar magnet mounted inside, or in the case of the imitations, a magnet mounted to the outside, or even attached to a removable ring around the bulb, which, when removed, ceases to oscillate. These were all made by Robert Kipp, KYP, in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Thereabouts. Come on. Have to adjust the magnet just right to get it to go. These are called an electric flame, and they have a very different action, kind of a ribbon of light effect. Purple ones there. These are called radiometers, Crookes radiometers. Come on, you want to spin, don't you? Robert Kipp also made these for years. Spin in the sunlight or under any incandescent light. This one's not spinning because he's a knockoff. This is a Vostok flight lamp. And on my file cabinet, there are more lava lamps, of course, and a bunch of photographs down here. All of my artwork and my catalog collection is kept in there. And comic books are down here. Eventually, there will be neon glow bulbs like these and these all the way down these little shelves down the side on their own separate switch. Currently, this switch is back here for everything. Nice chrome door chime. And here into the hallway. This room is a bit difficult to photograph well, so I'll do my best. Here are the mineral shelves. All manner of interesting things to see. Electric eggs. If your chickens lay these, you might have a problem. Little fountain. Some electrical items up here. Telegraph keys and the like. Flickering neon pumpkin in the red globe. Yes, there's glowing glass flowers in there with tiny filaments in them. This is a carrier for a pneumatic tube system for carrying money and a sign indicating how to operate it. Books and old tools. There's one book missing here, which is the guide to the Wanamaker Grand Court organ. More books down there, a turntable and a radio. More books on the wall. Do you have any homestead catalogs? Neon sign. For Red Dog beer. Not a very good beer, but the signs are rare. Average order for any one model of beer sign is about 10,000 units. And when they made this, the first order was 500. Thermostats. These switches don't do anything yet. As light. Has matching shades with a cherub on one side and a sort of green man figure on the other. The light bulb in the bottom is an actual antique carbon filament. Door chime covers for the Newtone Jefferson. This is the earliest model, second model, third, and when I find the 70s plastic one, it will go there. More antique lights, another door chime, clocks. Hello, owl, he's a little tiki torch. This wonderful thing is a German regimental pipe. Turntable. Rain lamp doing its thing. Yes, indeed. Casablanca ceiling light. More door chimes. These three here, courtesy of Becker Lighting. Oh, that one too. That one was also Becker. Newtone Starburst, Newtone Savvy, Newtone Country Crockery and Delft. That's a Hampton, and this is the Rittenhouse imitation of the Jefferson, the Williamsburg. Pendulum is just hung there for looks. Blinky bulbs. Night lights with interesting switch plates. Another Newtone up here. This is the Victorian. This is the incredible 1950s Rittenhouse called the King Edward, which has 3 tunes, and I will play them. 8-note Westminster, of course. Beautiful cover is a blue plate glass mirror etched. Then 4-note Westminster. Come on, little finicky. Doesn't want to go today, okay. And the last setting, will it play this? Nope. The last setting is How Dry I Am. Ah, it was stuck there. Okay. More things. And back the way we came. And we continue into the electric studio. Left my disco ball on by accident. Shut the door for full effect. Uranium glass. Here's another Nam Quang sign. Infinity mirror. And in here, there are even more switches by the door. And these are all labeled. So for example, this first switch is the fan back here. Second switch are the 4 amber hexagons, which are dimmable. Third switch is the room glow, and the room glow are these coves up here, which uplight the room nicely. And the fourth is the ceiling light in the loft up there. Then the bottom left wall is clocks. Pardon the reflections. Door chime. This is an Edwards, which should have a light in it, but I need a new bulb. And there's a switch under the cover, other side, which rings any of the selected melodies. In this case, 1 note. Some various assorted antiques here. Now here we'll turn on, look at the front up here. We'll turn on the fan light, which comes on bright. So fountain with a gargoyle spitting glowing liquid. And the wonderful 6-man clock by Gordon Bratt, with 6 little men pulling levers and turning cranks to keep the time for you. This one has the dial suspended on a pane of plastic. How on earth do the hands turn? It's the same method as these circular ones here with the glass plate, the golden hours and whatnot, where the glass rotates to turn the hour hand. And once you know that, master crafters made a square one. Found the CD shelves made wonderful kind of color blocks with lava lamps in them. Each different base finish and a different globe color. More interesting lights here. Cocktail glasses down below. Homestead fan on the floor. Waiting for a trade. Lava and glitter. Everybody's favorite lightning globe. This was the first commercial one, the Eye of the Storms, 1980. Organ pipes. Little organ pipes, some of which are quite tiny. That's why we have this character here playing the organ. Big organ pipe over here, and then big organ pipe down here. So that's quite a bit taller than I am. And yes, there's a light behind it at the bottom. Telephone's waiting to go in. There'll be an intercom system soon. Tiki mugs. All the electronic-y things. Violet ray. Cure what ails ya. Christmas tree. Another violet ray there and some old spark coils. This whole unit has a switch for those lights. I'm going to turn that off for now. Metronomes. Steam engines. Yes, that's a cobra in a bottle. Yes, it's real. Another flower light. Singing bird cage. These buttons light up a red or green light outside the front door, and the snap switch is the desk light. Pencil sharpener, soldering iron, scale. This is my workbench. These bulbs are waiting to go up on the front wall. Art supplies. Big old clock. That switch turns on a light that lights up the clock dial, as well as these two lights. There's family photos all over this wall. My grandfather. And it occurs to me that I haven't given the proper welcome. Here we have the fireplace with andirons and some other things. That needs a new bulb in one half of it. It does flicker. And there's two snap switches mounted under here, as well as this button, which goes along with the different colors of wood inlaid there. This snap switch turns on the fraternity lamps, which are wired together, and the andirons down here. And this switch turns on. Turn these off so it's a little darker in here. Takes a moment because it has tubes in it. It's 1952. There we go. And this is 1,000 signs in one because it's radio frequency. Just changed around to say what you want. Now this sign I don't want to leave running because tubes on it can burn out. So I have a light up front, which you see there, reminding me during the day when I can't see the glow from it that I have left it on. Fountain and 4 lava lights in the center of the room, and plugged into a special outlet in the floor where one half takes a special plug and is designed for a radio to plug into ground and antenna. Is this little Edwards push button, desk push, another note on the door chime. And then front door signal. Pardon the shaky camera while I step out and reach for the push button. Light bulb collection on the front wall. Big red one came out of a house on the rock. It's burned out. Need a 1,000-watt bulb. More of these little wonders with the glass flowers with tiny filaments inside. These are quite different than the so-called Aerolux bulbs that have neon glowing elements within. And of course there's little tiny bulbs of all sorts. That's a neon one, the blackened one, carbon filament there. That's a ceramic heater bulb all along the front. And the bulbs with the neon. There will be more up in the window eventually. See, there's just one now. The two other circ lines will go in the middle of that one. Bulb clusters. Some artwork. That was drawn by a neighbor. And this is representing the switchboard of a German dancing fountains unit from the 1950s. And then we have the loft. Before I get up there, I'm going to turn off the ceiling fan light because it is bright. And up here, we have these psychedelic lamps. Unfortunately, they're not spinning very well right now. And more lava lamps, including two giants. Neon rainbow in front of the flicker panel. Two more psychedelics. They take a while to get running properly. Just in case the party atmosphere isn't enough, down here we have a mirrored switch plate with a double switch. And the top switch operates the disco ball in the back with its spotlight. And there's a spotlight there. And a spotlight there for the big disco ball. That was a kind gift from a dear friend. And there's a couple other switches in here. This one that says ceiling turns on 4 chandeliers. This Western-ish 70s one with a downlight. Gas electric, which has flicker bulbs in the sides. The glass shades on this are antique like the others and assorted, except one each gas electric and the other gas electric match. Clock up there has a spotlight. This antique 20s fixture with glass drops has assorted shades on it. Then that's a 1970s Austrian crystal chandelier. Now, next to the white, next to the neon, you may see a little black dot on that wooden strip with the light behind it. That is the sensor for the remote control. However, when that neon flower is on, the sensor can't see the remote. So we are going to turn off the neon that operates the flower, which are these. And now, let's actually turn off a few more things in here so you can really see this. That's a bit darker. And the disco balls, if you please. Now we're going to turn back on the room glow. And now, you'll see that we can get a number of different colors out of this. Or if you prefer the party look. Last but not least, what does this button do? For that matter, what does this button do? These are carbon filament Christmas bulbs, pre-1920, on an antique string. You've never seen electric lights on a Christmas tree before, and your fairly well-to-do parents bring home this. Magical. It's on a push switch so that it can't get accidentally left burning. Some other carbon bulbs down in front here, including some figurals. Those are gas taps for attaching a hose for a table lamp. Yes, you could get gas table lamps in the day. And this one operates this display, which are matchless wonder stars, the most beautiful Christmas lights ever made. The photo doesn't show just how sparkly they are. Most of these are reproductions. But this red-centered one here is an antique, as is the little single row on the top. These are very expensive. Originals of this are about $30. Originals of this are about $100. Originals of the larger size, like this in the center here, are about $300 or $400. And if you find one of the frosted models, the price goes up. This is the large size, actually the medium size in the antique ones, the largest they made replicas of. And an antique of one of these is around $800 or more. Thank you for visiting the Museum of Odds and the Electric Studio.